You probably clicked on this video because you are tired of dealing like 0 damage and finally want to get strong. Well, good, because in this video I'm going to cover about any method I know of to deal more damage in Hypixel Skyblock. So if I missed any important methods, let me know in the comments. The first method to deal more damage and to get better stats in general is to get fairy souls. All of them at best. But I'm lazy, so I haven't gotten all fairy souls yet. So don't be like me, since fairy souls will give you a lot more HP, strength and defense than you have now. Fairy souls are hidden across all islands in Hypixel Skyblock, so it will take some time to get them, but it will be worth it. Also, there are videos and mods showing the location of all fairy souls in the game, so it can't be that bad to go and search for them. The next method I want to talk about are talismans. Talismans are basically the gateway to dealing more damage. Maybe not by themselves, but with the right power stone you can get hundreds of extra strength and crit damage. But more about that later. If you have the coins to buy talismans, then do it. You want to get as much magical power as possible out of your accessory bag. What is magical power, you might ask? Magical power is a number that increases with every talisman you add to your accessory bag. The higher your magical power, the more stats you'll get from your power stones. But again, more on that later. Skills can also drastically increase your damage. The combat and foraging skill mainly. Combat will increase your damage more than foraging and is also like 10 million times more fun to level up than foraging. But if you're desperate, you can also level up your foraging skill for some extra strength. Leveling up your skills obviously takes some time, so do not just spend all your attention to this method all the time, since your skills will level up anyways as time passes. Next up, I want to talk about reforges and power stones. Power stones are basically reforges for your talismans. There are a few basic power stone stats and they're all decent, but if you want more damage you should go to the bazaar and get some new power stones there. You got a lot of power stones to choose from and they all vary in stats and cost to buy them. If you don't want to spend a huge amount of coins on power stones, I recommend the Bloody Reforge, since it's pretty cheap and gives a lot of strength and crit damage, even some attack speed, which is pretty nice. When it comes to weapon reforges, I would almost always recommend to go for Withered if you want pure damage. For armor reforges, you should definitely go for Ancient. The most obvious thing you can do to increase your damage is to get better gear. Are you able to afford a sword that is better than your current one? Well, then get it. Getting better gear will always increase your damage output no matter what. Pets also play a huge role of increasing your damage. You should have a pet equipped at all times. I currently use a baby yeti as my pet, as it is really good for my dungeon class. Since you're looking for damage, you want to get basically any pet that gives strength or crit damage. A really cheap and good damaging pet, for example, is the griffin, as it gives you permanent strength. The best damaging pet is of course still the ender dragon, but while it is really good, it is also extremely expensive, so most of you watching probably can't afford an ender dragon. The last method to increase your damage that I'm gonna talk about today is by putting upgrades on your gear. What do I mean by that? For example, you can recombobulate your armor and weapons or your talismans. I also recombobulated my weapons and armor so that they have better stats. Other upgrades that you can put onto your gear include hot potato books, fuming potato books, and you can also put an art of war onto your weapon for an additional 5 strength. If you can't afford fumings or recombobulators or art of wars, you should at least put 10 hot potato books on your armor and weapons to make them slightly better. So, I hope that I could help you increase your damage with any of these methods. If I did, consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But for now, take care. See ya!